Hey y'all, it's Henny back again. You already know the drill. I'm going to be doing another album walkthrough. I don't want to call it a reaction just because I'm going to start editing these to be monetizable. I think I just made that word up. But yeah, another album walkthrough. Today we're going to be mulling over TRAUMAZINE by Megan Thee Stallion. I am so excited for this.
TRAUMAZINE is officially out now!
Yeah, I had to run to the bathroom and freshen up for the camera because I was looking crazy. I had to make sure that my tongue was brushed so I could stick it out in solidarity with the Texas hottie because I wasn't about to be out here embarrassed like the rest of y'all with white tongues. With this hairstyle, they would have thought it was Miley Cyrus up in there. So some key points about this album. Megan titled it TRAUMAZINE. To me, that seems like a play off of everything that's been happening since the Pew Pew with Tory Lanez. So I'm assuming that Megan is going to be talking about exactly what she's been going through since those events. And the zine part, as in magazine, I'm thinking tabloid, and she's going to be talking about the whole media frenzy that kind of played her trauma for clickbait and all this other shit over the past year. And judging by the album cover, we're gonna see a few different sides of Megan, mostly her sadness, her anger, just keeping it real. And this is gonna be Megan's story. Another key point is that this is her last album with that fucking predatory label 1501 Entertainment. Literally an embarrassing label that put her through hell over the past few releases now. Things that I'm expecting from TRAUMAZINE is to be a lot more cohesive than Good News. I think Good News suffered from too many cooks in the kitchen, just a really disjointed message for the album. This one seems like it's going to be a lot more cohesive. I think the project that I've enjoyed most from Megan recently is Something for the Hotties, because even though it's a mixtape, I think that was the most earnest I've seen Meg since the Tina Snow EP. I enjoyed Fever, but even that was kind of some of the songs aged like milk, primarily the ones with the child on them. So I'm excited to see what Meg's got going on. And without dragging this out further, I'm just gonna start the album because it is about an hour long and I need to get the ball rolling. It's already 10:30 right now. Means I'm probably gonna wrap around 11:45. So first track off of TRAUMAZINE by Megan Thee Stallion is NDA.
Damn, what a real bitch is that? I'm finna bring real bitches back. And I ain't say excuse me cause I did that shit on purpose, yeah. Driving by myself, shopping bag in a backseat. Niggas with the money to their ear don't attract me.
Right off the bat, I feel like Meg went for the jugular. The focus in NDA is very much on the people who are very fake towards her and kind of just use her trauma for clicks and whatnot. So very much in theme with the album title. The chorus is not really the main focus about it. To me, it's just kind of that's a chorus, but the real juiciness of the song is clearly in her verses. NDA feels like a great way of getting our feet wet. Quintessential Meg, all pretty much the same flow that she's known for, but it's still heavy hitting bars. I feel like the second verse is definitely a lot stronger than the first one. It had a lot of clever moments. I really like the "spread me like a condiment" line. That was funny, and it follows the rhyme scheme because in the next line she's talking about making a glizzy disappear, so condiment, glizzy. Also the line about being quick to check a pussy like a pap, that's funny. Thank you, Meg. That's gonna stick out of my head. All right, the next song we have is Ungrateful featuring Key Glock.
Whole lot of fake ass, snake ass, backstabbing, hating ass, no money, getting ass bitches. Y'all acting really ungrateful, I'm scaring you.
I really love that she says she's gonna take it to the booth because I feel like a lot of rappers these days, not just women, but especially the men, will instead of putting something in a song, they're just quick to be Twitter fingers, and that shit's so annoying. I've not once ever seen Megan do that. She really is one of the realest, right? She's really one of the realest artists out right now. That's my Aquarian Texas hottie.
Fake ass, snake ass, cake ass, hating ass, no money, getting ass niggas. Every nigga favorite, pussy get paid with. I'm the type of bitch jealous hoes can't hang with. Next to that, I don't need a team or a bitch to afford me. When y'all hoes step, gotta call all y'all sorority.
I ain't tryna spread none of these little rap niggas. I'm tryna fuck on all they bitches. I ran the bag up just like any. Riding in the yellow thing, you know, any. Acrobatic truck nigga, yeah.
Okay, so Ungrateful by Meg. She washed Key Glock on this. I don't understand why he was on this song. He basically just kind of reiterated her chorus as half of his verse and then just gave something pretty generic in my opinion. But Megan's bars were pretty clever. I feel like she could have put a third verse on here. Like this was a bit short and I really liked the chorus this time around, which made me want the song to be longer. She's like really talking her shit on here, not gonna lie. Like I feel like she had a lot of pretty clever like pop culture references that might go under the radar, like the Betty Rubble reference for big rocks on her neck. That's Barney's wife in Flintstones, so I just thought that was really funny. Also really like the line about host the step better call their sorority, like that. We love a studious queen, we do. Alright, next track is Not Nice.
Fuck it, bitch, I'm not nice. Yeah. I guess my skin not light enough, my dialect not white enough, or maybe I'm just not shaped the way that make these niggas give a fuck up. At they neck like button ups, everything green like buttercup, my afro, my pop up. But nigga ain't taller than me in my heels and he could never play me. Fuck it, bitch, I'm not nice. Being humble cause I know that I'm that bitch.
Yes.
Fuck it, bitch, I'm not nice cause I know that I'm that bitch. Ayy, got the roaches in your crib, sharing snacks with your kids. Delinquent on your payments, ho, go and post this. Bitch, I'm
Okay, so Not Nice. I didn't expect Megan to get into the meat of her feelings so quickly on this album, but goddamn. First verse, her kind of reflecting on her place in the industry, how she feels. She quickly kind of touches on maybe her skin's not light enough or her dialect's not white enough. That's interesting to me, but it also kind of shows you where the industry is at this point, that if Megan believes she's not light enough, I'm not gonna get into like the, you know, that the same colorism argument that like fuels most of these like stupid discussions on Twitter. But to me, Megan, while obviously kind of Redbone is light skin, like Redbone is light skin, so the fact that she feels like she's not light enough to get like the respect that she knows she deserves is really, that makes me sad. Damn. And also I can see like the dialect not white enough. I feel like a lot of the way Megan speaks, like a lot of people tend to think that she's dumb despite her literally earning her degree at the same time that she was like making millions and getting platinum racks, like is kind of insane. This second verse kind of left my jaw on the floor because what do you mean your kids are sharing snacks with the roaches in your crib? Megan, disrespectful. Holy shit. Yeah, I think Not Nice is gonna be in my top 5 off this album. Actually, probably top 3 off this album. This was I didn't expect for her to get like that real that fast on this album. It was pretty good. And I also love the chorus on this a lot better. The instrumental is a lot like less chaotic and it kind of gives her flow more of a punch as she's saying these lyrics. And speaking of not feeling light enough, the next song is Budget featuring Lotto. I'm pretty hit or miss with Lotto. To be honest, she is talented, but she often just kind of she is talented, but she's often just like rapping about being a biracial or like yellow bone, whatever, like, and it gets tiring because it's like literally every single song is like the same 3 bars. But we will see what her and Megan got to rap about together on a track. I kind of hate that it's 3 minutes and 22 seconds and longer than the previous track because I'm not that big of a fan. But let's get into it. Let's get into Budget. Let's see what she's got.
easy does it. These bitches ain't bustin' shit. These bitches busted. You know this box. I don't even know how I'm getting through the airport, packing around all this heat. I like my hair to my ass and I like my niggas down on their knees. Hey man, I chase been dead for a long time. Face on the front of this paper. Ayy, this pussy bougie. Lotto don't do budgets. Talk shit like your buddy. Trip shot can't pronounce it. Just a Phuket. I'm like fuck you. Been that bitch ain't no.
Okay, that was good.
Bitch on double D's in my brazier. Face is top tier. I don't walk around with tension. If you gotta make fake pages to say it, that's me. It's easy.
Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, Lotto ate it on this feature. Like, maybe I just don't like Lotto in her own music, but she can eat a feature up, and she did that on budget. It sounds like her and Meg are taking aim at like people who just kind of fester and hate when they see you taking up space. As someone who is now kind of trying to build a platform online, I can sort of relate to that because, granted, of course, I'm not getting it on their level because I've seen really crazy things about both of these women being said. Even with me not liking Lotto, I noticed like she gets a weird amount of hate for certain things. But yeah, like people these days just like kind of fester and like go online just to be hateful. So they're kind of taking aim at that too, especially with Lotto's verse where she's talking about like people making fake pages to say hateful shit, which is like so common, ridiculously common. And of course like budget in reference to Meg's tax bracket, like what's the budget up it, like she's saying the more successful that she's getting, the more people just kind of find things to hate about her, which I would say is true. Like when Meg first started and she was like, you know, just doing freestyles in her cul-de-sac in Texas, there wasn't much, everyone was rooting for her, and then like she kind of blew up, and then the whole thing with that man who shall not be named, and now it's just like every single day there's like a new fucking think piece on how Megan is like the worst person on the planet for getting shot. But I just have to say, yeah, the whole thing with people going online just to be hateful, y'all are fucking annoying. I hope y'all know that. Like I've exercised my block finger more than I ever have in the past like 3 months alone, and it's to the point where like y'all are so over the top with thinking that you could speak at people online any sort of way that it's not even fun to do like things on live anymore. Like I was on live with a friend like maybe 2 weeks ago now, and people made fake profiles, people that I had blocked made fake profiles to come into the live and complain about how I am weak for blocking them. If I'm weak for blocking y'all, what are you for making a fake page to come tell me that I'm weak? Sit on that one.
Bitch, I'm her, she. Assholes that you kiki with, I bet your jaw drop if you ever see me, bitch. I'm her, she. Tell I hate the kids, both cheeks, child. Bella, but I'm used to the child.
Megan. Okay, it is actually refreshing hearing Megan on this beat. I've always been curious how she would eat up a house beat because that seems to be like the current trend. She gobbled this up. There was 3 different flows on here, very consistent rhyme scheme. Part that made me laugh is when she said centerpiece, I thought she said centipede, but then the next line was centipede. And I'm curious at like the way her brain works. I really like her. I think this might actually make top 3 for my ranking on this album. I'm like kind of making a mental checklist. I like that I got 3 verses from her on here, and I feel like TikTok is gonna eat up this damn chorus. I'm gonna be sick of this chorus by next week. I can feel it in my bones. It's clearly Megan feeling herself and making the best of a situation. Like if she's always gonna be the topic of conversation, she's clearly gonna do that to the best of her ability. So, and I love the chorus. It's just like literally pronouns, her, she. Is like, when isn't the conversation about a woman? Let's be real. All right, next up, gift and a curse. This one sounds like it's about to be serious.
A bitch like me, yeah, I know my worth. Fucking with me is a gift and a curse. I pay my own.
These piano intros.
My pretty white toes, my natural afro.
Can we talk about these niggas' endorsements of Casamigos? That shit is not that good. Please stop putting that in every single song. I'm begging y'all. I'm not buying it. You could buy it with your millions of dollars, but that shit is nasty. Let's be real. Also, it's making me wonder if George Clooney got y'all on payroll, because after I found out he owns that company, and now it's in every song, y'all are out to Italy to be in George Clooney's house, like...
You be grateful, you should be thankful, you even get to breathe in a real bitch space. I got that Hellcat, skirt out on a nigga soon as I get off his face. And Kurt, shut up in my pussy, this little bitch to go, and an honorable mention to my throat. Just look at my ass when I twerk that nigga mad, that's that hurt.
Alright, so Gift and a Curse is basically just Meg acknowledging the duality of who she is as a person. She can be your best friend, and she can be the worst thing that ever happened to you if you fuck with her. Admittedly, not the biggest fan of the chorus on here. It's kind of like, it's a little too slow for me, but she is continuing this pattern of like kind of dipping her toe in with the first verse and then really eating it up on the second verse, which I like, ending the song on a bang. And that second verse made the chorus chorus actually hit harder at the very end. So, gifted a curse, I could take it or leave it. Alright, now it's time for Miss Nasty, and I'm curious if it's gonna be like a Janet thing.
Miss Nasty, tatted on my ass cheek. Scared to put that pussy on him cause he might harass me.
Tina Snow's back. Alright, so this was a pretty smooth, like almost R&B inspired song. I'm just gonna be frank, it reminds me a lot of Adina Howard, and Megan has sampled her in the past. And I feel like Adina Howard is a big inspiration to Megan Thee Stallion's Tina Snow persona in general, because a lot of times when she is like in that persona, the music sounds like freak nasty, like, you know, like it's a lot of that same vibe, which I really appreciate. And I just like Meg talking her shit. One thing that I did notice on here is that it's she does say spazzin, which is like a big hot topic right now, because I grew up not understanding that that is a slur, but here it's being used as a verb. So it's not calling someone a spaz, but saying that they are spazzing. I grew up hearing that, never knew that it was a slur. It's just such a big part of AAE to me personally. So I don't know how I feel about people coming down on Black folks specifically using this word, because to me it takes on a different connotation culturally, but that doesn't mean it isn't harmful. And I'm curious if they're gonna rally for Meg to change these lyrics, which she very easily could do for like she performs it live if she ever were to perform this live. That opens up a bigger discussion of like whether or not our culture should be shifting towards like something different to describe what that is. But yeah, Miss Nasty is a cute song. I really like the chorus on here, in spite of that unfortunate verbiage. Alright, next up we got Who Me? I'm just thinking of that one, you know, the gif where the woman is just like flipping her like crazy blonde locks back after like changing or something. That's what this reminds me of. And I know Megan likes those old Hollywood references, so I'm wondering if that's what this kind of has to do with.
Who shot you, but everybody know who shot me, bitch. Now let's stop speaking on that topic. Look at this new shit on my wrist.
You know how it is. Big ass backwood back to back, can't kill him. We roll up his land.
Alright, so on Who Me, I like that Megan is again referencing like how sick she is of the same cyclical, wow, I cyclical and circular at the same time. I'm tired, it's 12. How tired she is of the cyclical discussions when she's like, you already know who shot me. Like, people literally ran with that for like months, constantly talking about who shot Megs. Like, we all know who did it, why is he still out there? I thought Pusha T.'s verse was good. He was a bit like, it sounded like he was trying to kind of play with the space and like kind of sit behind the beat a bit. It kind of sounded like the beat was kicking his ass for a little bit in the first part of his verse, but then he kind of switched up his flow towards the end and it was better. And this was just like a cute little 2-minute thing. I liked it. Kind of keeps the themes of the album going. Now we're heading into Red Wine.
In the discussion.
Sounded kind of 80s.
Pissing these bitches off, turning me on. All of these shots turning me to a masochist. How could I lose a friend when I never had them? I want the dick that make me act stupid. Yeah. Give me some time. Come fuck me, let's go.
Not moaning on the track, Meg.
I throw like a dungeon, he trapped in it. Pussy like a bubble bath, now he lathered in it. Looking at your pee hole so I don't put my mouth on it. Yeah.
Megan is keeping consistent with the Adina Howard like inspiration. I can never not hear Adina Howard. I'm wondering when they're actually going to do a song together instead of her just sampling. Red Wine, Megan's moaning on the track. It's giving Janet a little. I like that it was chock full of euphemisms. The Geico thing was funny. That is I might have to use the Geico line while sexting. I don't know. Alright, next up we got Scary featuring Rico Nasty.
Every time I pop out, he gets scared for you hoes. Red bottom on my feet, Bloody Mary on my toes.
Megan really likes these horror themes, like in her visuals too. I know she did that with Dua Lipa for Sweet as Pie, so it's like cool to see that here.
Ay, take my name like Candy Mane and bitch, you know I'm there. These hoes wish they saw me when they looking in the mirror. Red is on they knees, I put bitches on they feet. Only time I buttons bitches when I'm pressing on my key. A bitch to play with, then you better ask G's. I know goons, I know goblins, shoot, and then robbing. Man's out here, nigga, who want a problem? Keep talking on my name and we gon' dig a grave with you. Zombie ass bitch, nigga gave me brain for dinner. I got market fish and stockings, like bitches, golden goblins. I'm fresh and deaf, I need a hearse when I go shopping, baby. Like, cause I'm God, yeah. Texas chainsaw on the whip shot, I'm making a hard, yeah.
So Scary with Rico Nasty is immediately #1 in the top 3. This was for the Hot Topic news. She's real for this. I'm sorry. I love the horror themes in here. I love the spooky, like the spooky instrumental that immediately makes you think of like an old black and white horror film. And I think Rico Nasty was an excellent choice for this feature. She's living up to her title as your favorite rapper's favorite rapper. Rhyme scheme, amazing. Just the way she sounds, incredible. I love the Gravedigger monster truck reference. I thought that was really great. Overall, 3 solid verses, and I don't think that Megan's love for horror has ever sounded this amazing. This is literally #1 on the album, and what are we, like halfway through? So we'll see what the rest of the album holds, but I think I've made up my mind. Next we have Anxiety.
Yeah, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, bad bitches have bad days too. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, bounce.
When I talk about bad bitches having bad days, I feel like it's a real thing. Like, no matter who you are, from the baddest bitch to whoever, we all have bad days. And I feel like people look at me and they're like, okay, look at this life. She must be okay. She must be like this. No, I'm a bad bitch and I do cry a bit. and I feel like that's okay. Like, I can go through it. It's okay to be a bad bitch and cry. I feel like sometimes people can ask you, what's wrong? And you be like, damn, I don't know. Like, it's okay to just be not okay. And I can't give you a specific thing that's wrong with me today because I'm probably thinking about something that happened to me 2 months ago that I've been bottling up and it's just now bubbling up today. So I don't know.
Is someone yodeling?
They keep saying speak your truth, and at the same time say they don't believe. Man, excuse me while I get into my feelings for a sick Friday, Saturday, Sunday, bounce back, high bad bitch, always do.
Okay, I'm not even mad that the past few songs have been like these little 2-minute tidbits because she keeps eating down on these fucking songs. I'm stressed out, like back to back, and Scary and then Anxiety. Everything about this song works. The instrumental is amazing. That weird yodeling loop that's going up and down the scale, everything about that puts you in the mindset of where she's at for this song. And of course it kind of speaks to the album cover where she's looking very like over it, anxious, like downtrodden on as one of the faces. So this is like a very real side to Meg, and the fact that she made this a bop, very generous of her. The chorus is everything. Just fantastic storytelling and amazing like way to give us a clue into her mindset and where she's been for the past couple years. Alright, next we have Flip Flop, which I'm assuming is going to be about quote unquote fans.
But it don't stop. You people ain't your people. They want what you got.
If your mama and daddy still walking in something, you probably ain't feeling my pain. I don't know why they want me to fail. I don't know why they hate me so much. I hoes wasn't talking that pimp shit till I start listening to me. Put you in my face, that's my trick. Find me a sucker, I hit me a lick.
Megan being able to pack these like really honest thoughts into these 2-minute songs is actually pretty impressive. I didn't find myself needing that song to be longer than the 2-minute mark, just because she said everything that needed to be said and kind of laid it out bare. So basically a song about people surrounding her and her feeling like a little lost, especially now that she doesn't have any of her parents or even her grandmother. Kind of a sad song, and I haven't really heard any samples that sounded familiar on this album, but this one does sound familiar, but it might not even be a sample. Like she may have just had this like R&B instrumental and had someone kind of do those backing vocals, but I really like the smooth R&B of it all. It kind of balances like the hard-hitting honest stuff that she's saying, like kind of smooths it over. I'm curious, I wonder how much of this album is going to be R&B. Any Anywho, next we have Consistency with Jhené Aiko. If Jhené's on here, I know it's gonna be some slick shit.
Quick and consistency. Boy, I know you feeling me. Fuck all them other.
Y'all ain't close Thanksgiving, but on the table I wanna get stuff that you know my birthday say.
You can't give me the time, then baby you can't be mine. Kiss me with the wishy-washy, in and out my life. If you got it, you got it. From LA, so I got a lot of thug in me.
Alright, so we have a pretty iconic sample on this one, which was Big Papa by Biggie. I thought they utilized it well. It wasn't distracting, and it actually made sense with the chord progression of the song. I don't know if they actually borrowed the entire same chord progression or just interpolated that. But it was nice, and also Jhené Aiko is a very welcome feature in this case because she slid. She just brought like a very sensual energy to the chorus in particular, and then she ate up that bridge. I thought that bridge was excellent, and she kind of has that cadence already. Like her and Tinashe and Kehlani occupy that space in R&B slash kind of pop, where they're essentially just like singing rap lyrics anyhow, so like they're always going to be very welcome on a hip-hop song. Also, I just like the playing between like dick and consistency. Give me dick consistently. Like, that's really funny. That's all we can ask for. Yeah, I'm curious how much more of this album is going to be very R&B inspired. Megan really tackles these productions well, like, and I noticed that the next song actually has Lucky Day on it, so it seems like it's gonna be more R&B, and he's kind of in that same lane too as Jhené Aiko, where he's often singing rap lyrics, and also he does spoken word, so it kind of all blends together. I'm curious if we'll get that moment from him. But next up we have Star. Also, the fact that Consistency was only 3 minutes and 40 seconds, but it felt so much longer because like the 5 songs before that were literally 2 minutes long. This streaming era has succeeded in shortening my attention span.
I'm a superstar. I'm a motherfucking superstar. Must be crazy.
Alright, so that was Star with Lucky Day. I feel like they both slid on this track. It was very much kind of laid back, more of the R&B. It felt very glamorous. It just kind of had that sound to it, like literally like Fergie's Glamorous. Like everything about it feels like very Hollywood, flashing lights. I feel like the song wasn't saying too much. It was just kind of like something slower to pad the album, and Megan acknowledging that like if you want to get with her, you sort of have to be on her level, which like any woman should expect. Or demand rather. And next we got Pressurelicious featuring Future. This one was a single. I'm not gonna lie, I listened to this one like maybe twice and I put it away and never listened to it again, mostly because I don't really like Future. But I will acknowledge that Meg ate this song up.
She average, I'm pressure, yeah. I'm pressure, I'm pressurelicious, yeah. I'm pressure, I'm pressure.
Shit, I'm worth it. Think look better in person. Hearing else smash my Birkin. I'm black hoes keep lurking.
Megan doesn't block people, but I do. So try it all you want. I won't be seeing it.
Don't hold so motherfucking hard, I'm knocking out more young tokens.
This bird that I'm breaking and jetted, this bird that I'm spinning and chick. I done broke out and switch, trying to put a whole thing in your chest. Left stroke, deep stroke, yo throat, slow, stroke. Went for 2 hours, 1 hour, went for 3 hours, 1 hour, did it for hours, 1 hour.
You need an Adderall to do all that? This nigga's never not talking about popping pills. It's like really annoying. Also, like, Megan, why did you put some of your hardest bars on a song with Future when literally like 4 songs ago you were like, I don't do drugs, and all this nigga does is talk about popping pills? Why is he on here? Okay, I'm curious about the sequencing because she put like all 3 singles at the very end of this album. I feel like this is the most consistent I've ever heard a Megan album, like an actual album, not a mixtape. We're going from Pressurelicious to Plan B, then she snuck in this freestyle on the Lil Kiki beat. I'm assuming it's gonna be on Lil Kiki's, I can't remember the name of the song. But then it ends with Sweet as Pie, which was the single with Dua Lipa, which is very pop adjacent. I would just call that a pop song, to be honest. So like, is the last leg of this album gonna be as consistent as the rest of it? And are we ending with something to say? Because I recall Sweet as Pie, it was a cute song. I felt like the visual definitely saved it from being just like another little collabo with a pop girl. But I feel like she's been consistently saying something, so to have the last 4 songs on the album be 3 of the singles that were released that were kind of not having anything to do with the album's overarching theme just feels like, I don't know, maybe it could have been sequenced a little better. But anyway, Plan B, which I actually enjoyed Plan B. Like, please don't think I'm like ripping this album a new one. I just am curious about this last stretch.
Please love yourself, cause this shit could get ugly. That's why as fuck niggas get money, and I don't give a.
You still kick it with them pop bitches. I'm the only reason that your goofy ass got bitches. Work while you sleep. My pussy is the most expensive meal you'll ever eat.
Bulk of this album, I still want to say that Plan B, first of all, strong lead single, but also probably one of the strongest songs on the album overall. Yeah, I like the way it works. So like keeping the legacy of the 90s very alive, especially in the way she's like not necessarily riding the beat, but just letting the beat do its thing while her voice is like giving the punch. Next is the Southside Royalty Freestyle. I'm gonna go reapply this gloss bomb. But yeah, I'm excited for the freestyle. I love Meg's freestyles. I loved Something for the Hotties because it had like 3 or 4 freestyles on there. It was like Bust the Boots, Outside, whatever. Meg on a freestyle is iconic always, and I hope she continues to put freestyles on her album. I would like at least like 2 or 3 freestyles on her albums, but that's just me being spoiled because she's consistently feeding.
On my watch, yeah, big brown skin with the long hair, diamonds all on my G-string, but I'm still eating that tea. Peace to me, my
bitches Megan, and I'm from South Park. And if it's about some motherfucking money, we could talk. No, if he's looking at the titties or these diamonds, these hoes can't spin out through the H-O when I buy home all them Grammys. 100K on my watch, yeah, big brown skin with the long hair.
Drip creator, the inventor of the flavor. The P stand for pimping, it don't stand for pushing paper. With no doctor needed, you might make a stallion. New Ferrari is Italian and a rapper paid for it. Feel like a legend when I slide up gently. They asking for the king, nigga, tell them blunt sent me. Paint cushion, shot the deuce and kept pushing on the double stitch cushion. Special and spectacular, slayer riding ambassador. Dog me holding, I'm patrolling on the black top. Hands in and out my fucking pockets, pulling racks out. Why I do it, ho, I do it for the H. GXAS just for the state, nigga, cry bull. You know, it takes 10 female artists to make a Megan Thee Stallion, and this a nigga wanna be South Walker and every record label in America. Y'all one time I know Dragon Ball Z, my hero academia, none of that teacher.
So after I just said that Megan is keeping basically the legacy of the 90s alive with a track like Plan B, it makes sense why, no, I'm just eating my words, it makes sense why it was sequenced right before Southern Royalty Freestyle, because I think most of the people on this freestyle were from the Screwed Up Clique, which was started by Lil Keke, who's on the song, I believe, and they all came out of Houston. So like this is all like Houston royalty. So you got Lil Keke, Big Pokey, just incredible moment for her to get this cosign. That's actually crazy. Like, but yeah, these are like huge, like, I don't know if many people, like, cause Southern rap gets such like a bad rap, but like, so these guys came up in the 90s, which is why I said like the legacy of the 90s is kept alive with Plan B and then like cemented with this freestyle, with this cosign. People talk shit about Southern rap, but it's just like nothing eats like Southern rap to me, because like, not that I like need a more melodic flow, I just feel like no one really rides a beat like that, because it's just like, it's in the cadence, like it's part of the culture, everything, like it's like that like lowrider, candy paint, like that whole drip culture, like it's unparalleled to me. And it's because I think a lot of my formative years were in the South, like having grown up in San Antonio, which I think Megan is also, like, she was born there. I don't know if she lived there for a while, but there is a strong cultural exchange between San Antonio and Houston that I felt, especially with like a lot of my peers at school being from Houston. So there's like just so much respect there. Like she really got got this cosign from like Screwed Up Click. Also, for those that don't know, George Floyd used to be part of this group. Culturally, this freestyle is like a moment. Yes, Megan only had one verse on there, but the people who know her, know what legacy she stands for, are really gonna appreciate this song. Like, I'm kind of a tad bit emotional. This was nice. I'm so proud of my girl. Do I really need to react to Sweetest Pie? I didn't really like that song. Okay, we're gonna react to Sweetest Pie.
Hold on, cause baby, I might just give you a bite of the sweetest pie. Ooh.
Guilty. Ever. I just remembered she made that Caesar Milan reference in Sweetest Pie. I'm like, Megan, that nigga's out here punching golden retrievers. Please be better than Caesar Milan. Be... Okay, so ending the album on Sweetest Pie isn't bad. She made me eat my words. I was really worried about the sequencing on the last leg, but it all makes sense. And also with the visual of Sweetest Pie, which was, I think, Megan came up with that entire concept by herself because of her love of horror. So I can just accept this song as like another part of her, which she kind of clues you into with the album cover, of course, which I talked about. I like that she can have fun like this. Overall, I think it's just because I have such a strong attachment to projects like Tina Snow and Fever. I will say that this is Megan's best, most consistent and cohesive album. She really stepped it up with sequencing. There wasn't really a dull moment. There was like slow moments, like that Lucky Day song. Kind of for me a bit like just a tad struggled to fit into the album, but it does carry an overall theme and just like pulls you into the next track. Overall, Traumazine is like a very solid window into what Megan's life has been like and what she's been thinking about over the past year in particular. And I love how raw and honest she was, and it never once came off as like inauthentic. And I think that's like Megan's superpower as an artist. Just like there's very few people that can match how authentic she is as a person and an artist. And she's not afraid to like try new things. Like she's very brave in her musicianship, if you will. Let's get into my little mini ranking. I'm just gonna give you all my top 5 and then I'll figure out the ranking as I'm editing this. So you will see a ranking somewhere. Maybe I'll just make the whole screen my ranking, but you will see it. But I will say that my top 5, let's see. Her is number 5. Southside Royalty is number 4. Anxiety is number 3. Scary with Rico Nasty is definitely number 2. And number 1 is Plan B. That's my top 5 and I'm sticking with it. Yeah, as far as the features go, I feel like everyone kind of brought their A game, but like I will admit again that Lucky Day's feature was just a tad lackluster. I would like them to try again later on down the line. I just didn't see much. I don't want to say that the album hit a lull there. I was just expecting something like different. But overall, everyone like brought their A game on this album. This is the most consistent, cohesive, and like put together that Megan has been on a project. And I like that it wasn't overloaded with like very recognizable samples and that it was just Megan kind of as the centerpiece of this. All right, so I hope y'all enjoyed my reaction and walkthrough of Traumazine by Megan Thee Stallion. Feel free to drag me for that whack-ass ranking because I'm pretty sure y'all will, because we never agree on anything that I rank ever, which is why I rarely do them. But let me know what y'all think down in the comments. What's your favorite song? What is your own personal ranking? Don't forget to hit the like button, share this with a friend. If you share it on Twitter, tag me. We can talk more shit about this album. And I will be putting the full, like, mostly unedited reaction on my Patreon. So if y'all do want to see that, make sure to subscribe to my Patreon. The entry tier is like $3. It's really not that much. Everyone else charges $5. I'm charging $3 because I'm nice. And that's all I got for y'all because I'm tired. It's damn near 1 o'clock in the morning and I need to edit this video and take my ass to bed. So see you next reaction. Thank you.